Hello and welcome to the Death Battle Cast, the only show on the internet where people die when they debate against each other. So
Jesus.
get ready, everybody. There's 4 of us here, and only 3 of us will leave alive.
None of us
Glad I'm
agreed to
judging.
He's gonna die. I will live.
No, just because you're arguing doesn't mean you're the only ones on the chopping block. Who knows? Who knows what'll happen? No. All right, hey everybody. I'm Ben. I'm the voice of Wiz in Death Battle, joined by Chad, voice of Boomstick.
I
Usual.
pulled
What's
it
up,
in.
Chad?
Great.
Nice
Great.
job.
Yes,
Nice
I've been trying to get that
job.
timing. All right. Oh.
We've got one of the writers and directors of Death Battle. We've got Liam.
I mistimed it so terribly, but yeah. Hey everybody, how you doing? How's
I was gonna
everybody
say
hanging?
not drunk this time, but I'm not sure if that
Not
really
drunk this
supports that.
time. Well, who knows? Bringing out the
The water.
water
Oh,
bottle yet
uh-huh.
again.
Yeah. And also, of course, other writer director of the show, Josh Kazemi. You have a fancy thing too. Oh, it is really hard to time that. I thought I was gonna get it.
You have to go.
Having
You
it so
just-
hard.
You literally just have to
Yeah.
feel it. Like I
Yeah.
just go with my gut and do it ahead of time and hope.
Next time. I'll
You
get it
have
next
to,
Do we
time.
you have to
need- do we
Evo
need, like,
moment
a-
37 it.
Do you need like a countdown or something with Mike? It's like he times it with you.
We need to
Oh
start
god.
practicing.
I took a drink of water when you were doing that. Now I'm
Here you go.
dying. So
You can have some of mine.
Well, while you're
Oh,
trying,
God.
Phoenix gifted out 10 Death Battle memberships. Thank you, Phoenix.
Phoenix, thank you so much. Well, welcome to our first live show in a couple weeks since a certain big announcement has dropped.
Yeah.
Wonder what that
What?
could be. That
My social
we're gonna be
security
talking
number.
about Dark Souls.
I
Yes,
doxed
yes,
myself,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, it was very strange.
Oh, that's too soon.
Yeah, I know, man. All right, so because of that, I just do want to do a quick shout out to an episode that we just recently released, Rick versus the Doctor. If you have not gone to check that out, please do. We love how that episode turned out, and we hope you guys do too.
So good.
Had a lot of fun putting it together and making a little bit of a different episode in terms of how the characters like interact.
Yeah.
Just based on like how that. How those characters would interact in a fight.
One of them
the
does not
scripting, that was
attack
super fascinating.
in the
yeah,
entire fight.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is fascinating. And guess who wins? Yeah, I was very excited to work on that episode. It's a matchup that I've wanted to do for a very long time.
Yeah.
So I might be a little proud of it.
They were definitely-
I showed
go
my
ahead.
I showed my dad the fight because he's in town for Thanksgiving, and then at first he like. Yeah, because we'd watched Scooby Courage because my dad knew this is why we used to watch Courage all the time together. But we did the whole full episode. But then I put on just the fight of that just to show him because we didn't have a lot of time. And when he started watching it, he was like, he thought I was showing him an episode of Rick and Morty because sometimes I'll show him episodes. And then I was like, isn't this crazy? Like, does it like?
Yeah.
And then he sees like Death Battle. He's like, wait, this is Death Battle? And I was like, yeah. Like, isn't that
Yeah.
amazing? It
Yeah.
was wild.
It looks so good.
Lily
One of my favorite-
Mandragon, thank you for the gifted subs. And everybody who's getting a gifted sub, be sure to thank whoever sent it to you because
And check
good
out all
people.
the membership stuff you now have access to, including our Discord.
Yeah,
One of my
go
favorite
jump
parts
in there.
of the writing process for that was just asking you, Ben, like, hey, just can I get like a list of weird things that have happened in Doctor Who for this line? I just need to like fill it out. What's like the weirdest thing? And you were like, well, he shoved Hitler into the closet. And I was like, good, that one's going in there.
That's it.
yeah, that was very much a thing. Like Liam knows more about Rick and Morty than me, and I know more about Doctor Who than he does. So like that was
Yeah.
a very much a collaborative back and forth for that writing process, which was very fun. Yeah. Anyway, definitely go check that out. I think it's one of our best episodes personally. I really enjoyed working on that. And of course, coming up very soon is the rematch, the actual rematch this time. I might talk about that a little bit more later on in the show. Goku versus Superman.
Dude.
Yeah, it's happening, everybody. This is
Yeah.
a matchup that, or a rematchup that I've been wanting to do for a while now, and I'm very, I don't know. This episode means a lot to me, just because like of what the old Goku vs Superman was to me. Like, if you don't know, Goku vs Superman, the original Goku vs Superman is over 10 years old now, almost 11 years old, which is wild.
Yeah.
But that was like a year of my life, right? When Death Battle first started, it was basically just me and Chad, and then we brought on an animator at one point. So the majority of the work on that episode is me, animation aside. And I essentially spent a year of my life prepping for that episode. So much so that like I was in college at the time, right? And I was so ingrained in this Goku Superman thing that like
crazy.
my I was in a screenwriting class and I had to make one of the scripts that I wrote was inspired by Goku and Superman. Like that's how ingrained it was in my life. So
I mean,
it means a lot to me.
Yeah, I mean, even on top of that, like you reached out to the author of like the Tao of Dragon Ball, and then like you were like the like official, unofficial, whatever, like fan communities for both. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that was a whole project. You wrote 3 different versions of the script, I think.
Yes. The original version that we did record was like 20 minutes longer than it ended up being, which is where some of the material for Goku vs. Superman 2 came from. But Goku vs. Superman 2, we don't talk about it. It doesn't exist. It's not good.
Then
outside the animation. This is like the one good thing that came out of that.
I'll offer this. I think that some of the material about like the characters' origins and like what they sort of represent, I think that there's good stuff in that in Goku vs. Superman 2. I liked those rundowns to an extent. I get what your criticisms are, or I think we have the similar criticisms, but I think some of that stuff is interesting, and some of that stuff, as you can see in the previews, is in Goku this one, Goku vs. Superman current version.
Oh yeah.
It's for the first time we're actually doing this matchup with a team. Which is weird to say, but it means a whole lot of difference, to be honest.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll have more to say about Goku vs. Superman later on in the show, I think, as well as showing a little bit of a sneak peek into what's coming down the line for that episode. We also have an announcement for the Tournament of Champions coming up pretty soon.
Welcome to the Tournament of Champions!
Like a long-lost lover embracing after years apart.
Yeah, sure. Okay. That's right. We'll talk about which matchup won that later on, as well as what that's moving into, because we're almost done with the Tournament of Champions.
Welcome to the Tournament of Champions!
But
shout out to our TD Mike.
Yes, thank you, Mike. Let's get to the meat of this show right now.
Dude, I'm hyped for this matchup.
Hulk versus Godzilla. Now, if you are new to our Death Battle Cast shenanigans, which is really what this is going to turn into, the way this works is 2 of us are going to debate these characters against each other. I will be taking Godzilla. Liam is going to be repping the Hulk. And we are just going to basically spend the rest of this hour yelling at each other. It's going to be super fun.
I'll be yelling. I like to yell.
God. No.
And it's our job to convince the jury that our respective character wins in a death battle. The jury consists of 3 seats. That's Chad, that's Josh, and that's you all watching this live right now. If you are in the chat and you want to chime in, you got something you got to say about Godzilla or Hulk or whatever, we are looking at the chat as well. So feel free to jump in and say your piece.
Let me tell you how
but it is 1 seat. So if you're not in the audience chair, which is located, I think, somewhere outside Lincoln, Nebraska, you have to get on it, and then you're allowed to vote on this episode. So it's not just the chat; it's the actual audience seat, the 3rd seat. It is a regular seat size. It's very difficult, but
thank you, Master Radiant.
I've done it before.
For gifting that.
Thank you, Master Radiant.
I'm very excited for this matchup because we were gonna do this like 2 weeks ago, and I had jury duty, and I was like, please, can we not? Like, I really want to be here. Like, I don't want to debate because I'm so
You're not even debating. What?
No, I know. No, but here's
wants
why.
to be here for it.
Because I think it like there I have nothing in me that's like I think Hulk's gonna win or I think Godzilla's gonna win. Right? Like, I mean, Hulk's pretty ridiculous, but like I'm so like I want to watch this, and I could get like I'm very impartial and excited.
I love the idea of this matchup. This is definitely one of those that I'm like, I want this to be a thing. This is going to be fun to talk about. Because I just imagine the Attack on Titan-esque like battle of Hulk climbing up Godzilla and picking him up and throwing him. It'd be super fun. All right, let's get into this. Of course, Shadow Dragon X, thanks for the memberships. So we're going to start with our opening statements. Liam, you want to start?
Sure, I'll start.
60 seconds on the clock. What's Hulk bringing into this?
So Ben's the Godzilla fan, so he got to pick Godzilla first. I love Godzilla, but the reason I wanted to pick him was more just out of the fun of representing him, not because I think that he wins, because I really don't. I tried, guys. I asked people in the Discord. I was like, "Give me some good Godzilla arguments," and he has gotten stronger in recent years. But Hulk has gotten ridiculously stronger in recent years. He is a comic book herald, fully fledged. He is now officially multiple times stated to be stronger, much stronger than Thor. He has classic like strength, speed, and durability scaling, which puts him at a level way above Godzilla, as generous as you want to be with Godzilla. His ability to absorb radiation is going to be a major counter to Godzilla, even with the fact that Godzilla can absorb radiation as well. And the fact that he is so much, ironically, like the fact that he is so much smaller and so much faster means that he's going to be extremely difficult to hit, and he's immortal. It's a lot. It's a lot.
That was a fun little button.
I really don't like this. I would like to live in a world where I thought Godzilla won, but I don't.
Well,
live in that
maybe
world.
we
Live in
can
a horrible
change
world.
that today, and maybe we can make today the day.
Hey, there you go.
Mayhaps,
change
Ben.
your world.
Mayhaps.
Yeah.
All right, let me talk about Godzilla. Godzilla is the ultimate atomic monster, the better version of Hulk. Frankly, if the Hulk decided to actually be what the Hulk promises to be, he's there are a lot of different iterations of Godzilla, right? So in order for this to work at all as like a matchup against somebody like the Hulk who has dozens upon dozens of years of comics, I am going to be kind of compositing Godzilla here. I just feel like it's kind of necessary in order to do this. And so Godzilla has been across movies, comics, anime, TV shows, etc. for quite some time. And a lot of the Godzillas, weirdly, even the weirder ones that can like manipulate space and time, kind of mix with some other ones as well. Of course, he's got his atomic breath. Of course, he's got his radiation. Just walking around changes the environment near him. Of course, he lives underwater, but he's also capable of growing to a size that eclipses the entire universe.
What?
Huh?
I will get to that. I will get to that.
Ben,
It is insane.
I can't wait to hear about that. But you didn't mention the tail slide. Come on, it's the coolest move.
Oh, also he
Godzilla
can just completely break physics and just
Oh,
do
I
a drop kick that slides through the air.
I love the tail slide, but I found something even fucking stupider. Mike, could you bring up image 11, please? I saw this and I was like,
you have images
this
of
is
Godzilla?
this is my counter to the Godzilla tail slide.
Oh, for Hulk. Okay.
Yeah. So Hulk was falling through the air and he just flexed and then flew just by flexing his muscles.
Wait, what?
But the Incredible Hulk is not so easily defeated. Possessing the mightiest muscles of any living mortal, he performs a seemingly impossible feat. By sheer brute power alone, by actual muscle control, he forces his flying body to lift itself up over the solid stone trestle.
I love the clarification because it's by sheer brute force power alone. You could have ended it there. By actual muscle control, the writer was like, "I am saying this in case you were
in case you were unclear."
For the day this shows up on a podcast.
This is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. So that is my fucking counter to the tail
That was
slide.
definitely a case where the artist, for some reason, thought Hulk could fly, and then the writer was like panning it in and realized this makes
That's how they did comics. That's how they did. Like Stan Lee would be like, Jack, just draw the entire comic and I'll fill it in, and then I'll take credit for writing. True believers.
It's just like, what do we do with this panel?
He's like,
muscle flexing.
Okay, I'm gonna write something impossible for you, Stan. I want to see you justify this shit, asshole.
Oh, no.
Dude,
All right,
that
Kage, thanks for the memberships.
Yeah, thank you, Kage.
Oh my god.
That would be a fun thing. We haven't done our little like out of context comic book panel thing in such a long time.
Oh,
But
yeah.
what if
that
we
would have been a good
did
one for it.
That would have been a good one.
what if we did a thing where we
Was
drop
this
a
real?
panel with the text removed and we had to like fill it in?
Oh my god. Well, I do have some pretty crazy comic book things to talk about with Godzilla as well, but I do want to start with like, so some people may be familiar with like the MonsterVerse Godzilla, right? The more recent like Americanized version, which overall is pretty good, but it's nowhere near its most powerful version. So in the movies, probably the most impressive feats we've seen come from the Millennium era, which is sort of the like 2000s era. There is an example where Godzilla. I don't remember the specifics of why this weapon exists, but for some reason, um, the Japanese Defense Force has built a satellite that shoots black holes at Earth, which sounds like a bad idea.
Hey, no, it's just in
Yeah,
case, man.
why at Earth? What did they miss? Like, what did they?
Again, I
Russia.
haven't watched
No,
it in
I'm
a while, so I don't know. But for some reason, they have this, and they're experimenting with black holes essentially, and that's where I think it's Mega Gyrus. I think that's what the thing's called. That's where it comes from. So the whole story is about trying to like get these weird bugs from another dimension back through the black holes.
That sounds
one
like a
point-
Godzilla movie.
Yep.
At one point, the black hole gun fires at Godzilla, and Godzilla shoots at the black hole and destroys it.
With his atomic breath.
As,
Sweet.
as with his atomic breath. What, with a gun, Chad?
He's
he's
playing
shooting it with an
fucking
AK.
basketball with Charles Barkley. Yes, of course, I'm getting clarification. We've seen some
Okay.
shit. Okay.
He fires his atomic breath at the black hole
I'm looking at
as it drops down him, and when it impacts him, it explodes. It destroys the black hole, and Godzilla's gone. And so everybody on Earth is like, "Oh, I guess Godzilla is dead." And then the end of the movie is him like coming back. He basically just comes up from under the ground. He just
Great.
Yeah.
willed himself to survive a black hole, or the theory goes that, or the people don't believe that he was destroyed, that they think he was like sent to the dimension that the Mega Gyrus thing came from. So either he survived
Oh.
it and like left, some like just teleported away, or he got sucked into that dimension, surviving the black hole, and then somehow got back. Just willed himself back. He's just back now. So there is no real explanation for it outside of Godzilla's just fucking crazy. And his willpower being like a power is a recurring thing. I will bring that up later on when one of the comics. He basically outwills God and Satan. Spoiler. Yeah, Godzilla gets crazy.
This is awesome.
And the other big example of like a movie with like an incredible feat would be Final Wars, when he's fighting literally every monster that has ever existed, and the aliens send like a giant meteor at him, and again he does the exact same thing with the black hole. He fires his atomic breath at it. It still hits him, but then when like the smoke clears, he's just standing there. He's just fine. There's like this massive crater around him, and he's just like chilling, like as if nothing happened. So he's taken some serious punishment that is comparable to something like the Hulk would take on like a normal everyday basis. But of course, I'm sure you got some crazy shit for the Hulk.
That's okay. I was gonna like come in with the like that's what Hulk does every day, but
Mhm.
yeah. I wanted to bring up a feat that I think doesn't look as impressive just at a first viewing, but I want to kind of go into it just a little bit. Mike, could you bring up image 1? And I'll cue you for image 2 because it's a two-parter. But so this is Devil Hulk. This is Immortal Hulk. He is significantly stronger than he was before. Thor says this. He punches Thor once, and it's revealed on the next page that Thor has a concussion and can't see.
and he lost a tooth.
And he lost a tooth. But that's actually not the best part of this. At the bottom, it's hard for you guys to see because of the quality, but like for people watching, Hulk punches Captain America's shield. Captain America is blocking with his shield.
Did he crack
He punches it once. He does not crack it. He gives Cap a nosebleed through the shield. The shield that
That
has
negates
blocked
all vibration.
all kinetic energy.
Yeah.
Aside from like the only times we've seen it being broken are from like the Infinity Gauntlet, right?
Mhm.
Like reality warping shit. He
Right.
gave Cap a fucking nosebleed through the shield. And on the second page, image 2, Mike, they clarify that Hulk in this state is vastly stronger than he ever has been. Thor says that he is a immortal being that has transcended in power and become effectively like a god at his level. Which I only bring that up because like Hulk classically was always sort of like at Thor's level, but maybe a little bit less. But it was unclear because in the Worldbreaker arc, Thor wasn't there. He wasn't present for it. So it wasn't 100%. This is making it 100% clear that Hulk at like Devil Hulk is surpasses him. And there's now like a flood of statements of this being the case. That's just a basic thing. To get into something a little crazier, this isn't even Devil Hulk. This is Mindless Hulk, and this is Image 7. So Mindless Hulk is a personality of the Hulk that is based on Banner's fears about what the Hulk could do if he wasn't in control. So when Banner's psyche like committed like psychic suicide or whatever, he was no longer in the Hulk's brain. Mindless Hulk took over and fought in this dimension called the Crossroads, which is a literal crossroads to an infinity of dimensions. And he fights the UFOs there and punches so hard that the vibrations from his attack travel through, and it says this, the infinite dimensions. The concussive force of their coming together reverberates across the pathways leading from the crossroads to an infinite number of dimensions. And we see like these 3 panels here are from the different dimensions that Hulk visited earlier on in the story, literally being shaken. The entire dimensions are being shaken from the impact of his blow.
I have an interesting question. I'm not trying to just semantics argument, but
go ahead.
If this is the crossroads, the point where all dimensions connect, wouldn't that be like having a microphone to all dimensions? You know what I mean? So like if you punch, it's gonna go to all of them because you're at the intersection point.
It is traveling across those roads, but like the fact that the vibrations can travel to an infinity of dimensions at all is evidence that there is an infinite amount of being force being put into it. Yeah, it's less impressive than if the dimensions were completely separated.
Yeah.
But it's still traveling that distance, A, in a finite amount of time, which is a speed feat too, and B, like the energy still is still affecting all of those dimensions and physically shaking them, like earthquakes, lightning, fucking thunder and shit.
Cats and dogs living together.
Total anarchy. Yeah. So those are my starting Hulk feats.
Oh, okay. I feel like there's probably more to that infinite one though. Like that.
I mean, you can say that. I've read the comic. That is what it is.
Okay.
I just remember being impressed when I was looking into the Hulk when he grabbed the tectonic plates of an exploding planet and pulled it back together. And like that was pretty good.
I mean, there's also, I can mention the Darwin feat that we love bringing up because there's a bit of extra context.
That's my favorite.
So, if you guys don't know this, there is a mutant called Darwin, who, of course, is the first one to die in first class.
Which is ridiculous.
So fucking stupid. But his power is to adapt to any threat. When he was met with the World Breaker Hulk, World War Hulk, same personality, but like not at this lesser power, it teleported him away to a different location because the way to adapt to the Hulk is to just not be there.
Hulk goes to swing a punch at him, and he appears on the opposite side of the planet.
As if that would matter.
It put him the world away because the only way to deal with the Hulk, is to not.
And I want to clarify because you can be like, well, okay, Darwin's adaptability power like has a limit, right? Okay, sure, yeah, everything has a limit. He once adapted to Hela, the Norse god of death, who can instantly will people to die. And he adapted to the god of death ability to kill. So I think that's more of a flavorful thing, but I think that gives you an idea of how fucking stupid World War Hulk is. Of course, he fights the Sentry. Devil Hulk later fights the Sentry, and is clearly stronger. Like Sentry throws 2 punches at him, and Hulk blocks it with 1 hit. So yeah, he's above the Sentry. We can get into Sentry scaling, but it's wacky. It's wacky. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it off at right.
Well, let me talk about some wacky Godzilla stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Also, Mike, let me know if you got my image. But you just bring it up whenever you get it. But Ben, go ahead.
Okay, because I'm gonna share some images as well here. So I mentioned Godzilla's willpower and him fighting God, right? So there was a comic called Godzilla in Hell. It's a 5-issue series of Godzilla just basically getting sent to hell and having to fight his way out. And through that process, he encounters... It's fascinating. Like, the comic has almost no dialogue. So it's mainly just watching Godzilla kind of wander around killing shit.
I love it. That sounds awesome.
There are a few occasions where dialogue comes into play, though. And one of those is when he meets God. So, Mike, if we could bring
Fantastic.
up Godzilla in Hell 1. I do have a couple of these images. So this is when he meets God. God is represented as like a mountain. I think it's going for the whole like divine
Biblical.
comedy sort of thing with
Yeah.
like the layers and whatnot. He meets God, and God is like, yo, you're going to serve me. You are a very powerful warrior. You're going to be part of my army against Satan. So Godzilla's like, nah. And there are these kind of angels
I was
wandering
about to say,
around.
did he eat angels?
The way so these two panels are a little bit separated from each other. So then the first one ends with him grabbing one of the angels and just eating him, right? And God is like, no, you're going to serve me. I'm going to force you to. So he basically banishes Godzilla into another layer of hell or whatever. It's not explained because there's no dialogue, barely any dialogue, where he meets Space Godzilla, who is a clone of him, fused with Biollante, etc. Space Godzilla is kind of controlled by Satan at the time, and then Godzilla is like God's champion, right? And
Godzilla, as we all know, him,
I
Godzilla, God's champion.
Godzilla's like, or God is like, you're gonna fight for me and kill Satan,
Space
Godzilla, and he does. He kills Space Godzilla, wins the day, and God is like, good, now you are my servant. And Godzilla is obviously like, what? No, like, there's no reason to do that. So he then we get to this top panel, this right page here, where he kills God.
Oof.
He shoots a beam of atomic breath fused with holy energy, because now he has that, because of course he does, and kills God. Starts eating angels and demons who are both there. That's the golden and red ones there. And in the last panel there, they mention, we worship you now.
What the hell?
There is no more God.
Godzilla
The angels now serve Godzilla. So Godzilla has become God.
Yeah.
But that's not all. If we bring up number 2 in this sequence. So he's defeated God and is now God, right? This is Satan, or the representative of Satan. He's never named, but it's made pretty clear that he is the like overseer of hell. This weird mass on a mountain that basically blocks the exit from hell. That gate is the exit.
Okay.
Godzilla has to kill Satan in order to get out of hell. So if we bring up the next one, number 3, Satan attacks him with a flurry of these demons that devour Godzilla.
Whoa. Oh, shit.
Godzilla is completely eaten away. Left, the only thing left are his bones. Believe it's supposed to be a reference to the first movie,
right.
Of course. However, Godzilla is unstoppable. He has a willpower that apparently trounced God. So why couldn't he also trounce Satan? Bring up the last image,
or
number
death.
4. So the demon bats that just ate him are now under Godzilla's control because he is God and he is now the devil. They reform Godzilla's body and kill Satan.
Oh my
That's
God.
awesome.
He is now a demon bat Godzilla, and then he just leaves hell.
Can we appreciate the commitment to a chat bubble for every single demon?
Yeah.
It is
great.
insane.
Can we also file this away for Skeletober?
Yeah.
Yes,
I have to say, I love this comic. I love this. I love that feat.
It's wild.
I love
awesome.
Godzilla so much. I love Godzilla so much. I wish he won this fight. I genuinely.
Why are you
can't tell
Denzelling
you.
right now? Like, I wish
I
he
think
had
it would
one
be
time.
really hard to argue that you could kill Godzilla if he could outwill God and Satan, like and destroy them with their own power.
Well, I will say, okay. That is very impressive. You know who's also
You don't sound very impressed.
I look, yes, defeating God and Satan, very impressive. Less impressive when you don't have a level of context to how powerful they are, especially when you're comparing it to a comic book character, comic book herald, because God and Satan means a lot less. For instance, there are multiple Satans in Marvel. The Hulk draws his power from the ultimate Satan in Marvel. Fuck Mephisto, fuck Dormammu. He draws his power, the third form of gamma radiation. It's a wave, a particle, and it's hell magic drawn from the one below all. The one below all is the opposite to the one above all, who is the ultimate God in Marvel, and
Sure.
there is simply no way that God and Satan in Godzilla is as powerful as what you get with Marvel's cosmology.
How is there no way?
Um,
Why couldn't they be equivalent? Because they're basically the same thing in that
Because
regard.
Marvel's cosmology, like the Marvel universe, is fucking huge. There's a multiverse
Tons of
of
gods.
infinite universes, infinite temporal spatial dimensions, and the one above all is beyond all of that, as is the one below all. Right, like the amount of universe that they control is a lot bigger. So like God and Satan, maybe you could argue in the God. I mean, there isn't at least from what you said, that they control the entire universe. But let's say that they do. Let's say that God and Satan in Godzilla control the entire or universe level beings. Um, that's nothing compared to the one above all, the one below all. And the Hulk did have a clash with the one below all, and did not fully beat like his full power, but it is stated that his will overpowered him in that moment, the one below all, when he thunderclaps the big cloud away. So in terms of willpower, like the Hulk is significantly greater. The Hulk has been stated to be able to fight ad infinitum, like forever. Like as long as he can
Gets
maintain his
angry,
anger,
yeah.
he will never stop. And there are stories where he does fight for like an infinity and like lives. There's like one bad future storyline where the Hulk, like it's like thousands of years in the post-apocalyptic future, and he's still Hulk, and he stays Hulk because he knows if he like reverts to Banner, he'll die because Banner died. Not that it matters with the Devil Hulk things, because it gave him the green door, which allows him to immediately resurrect, as long as his body isn't completely vaporized. Now, you might say, hey, Godzilla has a handy-dandy ability to instantly vaporize things with his atomic breath, but guess who absorbs atomic energy? The Hulk.
Doesn't Godzilla also?
They both,
Yes.
that's correct. They
So
both
couldn't he
absorb,
absorb like the one above all power of Hulk? We're throwing that at him.
they both,
If Hulk was to throw that at him, yes, but Hulk obviously can also punch. I mean, so can Godzilla.
let me make this argument. Like the both of them can absorb each other's radiation. This is a common thing actually when Hulk fights other gamma mutates. They're both absorbing from each other. The difference is that Hulk primarily uses his gamma energy to physically punch people, which Godzilla can't absorb. Godzilla also uses the atomic breath, which would be just feeding the Hulk. He would just be absorbing it. So yeah, eventually he could stop doing that, but anytime he uses the atomic breath as an attack, it's going to be benefiting the Hulk, which is going to allow Hulk to absorb more energy from Godzilla than Godzilla would from absorbing like what the Hulk is passively radiating.
Yeah, but have you considered this, Liam? Show it, Mike.
So what?
Just see. Oh, thank you, A, for the membership. He said he had it.
It's a good bit, Joe.
Yeah. We're gonna do now.
Fuck, I never thought of that.
It's Godzilla with a gun. All right.
And I will.
I mean, there you go.
What am I supposed to say to that? And let's talk about fighting Satan, because there is another Satan, quote unquote, that the Hulk fought. Mike, could you bring up image 3, and we're going to go through 3, 4, 5, and 6.
6.
So
Okay,
this
you're gonna
is
have
a
to
story.
speed through this because
Yeah.
we got to get to Godzilla Ultima.
We will. Okay, so Godzilla or Hulk. Doctor Strange this is in the future. Doctor Strange is fucked up. He's beaten. Dormammu is here. He's going to unleash his full magical might against Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange pulls out the Hulk's head, which is still alive. And the next page, Mike.
Of course. Also, thanks, you know who else.
Dormammu shoots a magical bolt at it. The Hulk is fully revived because Doctor Strange says, I changed the Hulk's energy absorption from gamma radiation to magic. He might not have needed to. I don't know when this is compared to like the reveal that gamma radiation is hell magic, but he absorbs it fully. Next page, Mike, and is revitalized, completely unharmed, and then unleashes it back at Dormammu, his own attack, amplified by the Hulk's ability to amplify the energy that he absorbs. Next page, Mike. And then completely fucking vaporizes Dormammu. Dormammu, one of Marvel's Satans, a being that can fight against the entire race of Celestials, like multiversal level beings, like incredible power. One attack, the Hulk is able to absorb his magic and shoot it back.
Fully regenerate and shoot it back.
and shoot it back. Doctor Strange explicitly did not make the Hulk stronger here. He just changed what kind of energy the Hulk absorbed. So this same level of energy is what the Hulk is capable of doing with Gamma.
Okay.
That's pretty nuts. That's pretty
I
fucking
did see somebody in the chat ask, would Godzilla be smart enough to not fire atomic breath once he realizes the Hulk could absorb it? He actually would. He would be able to understand that. Most versions of Godzilla have a decent level of intelligence. There are some that are obviously just animalistic. They just charge forward and kill shit. The Heisei era in particular has a lot of these. But more often than not, Godzilla's not only capable of like understanding strategy, he can kind of talk in some iterations. Like there's literally examples of him talking to people. So yeah, he would be able to figure out. There's definitely examples of him like strategizing against other monsters.
Yeah, Ben, when he's fighting, he's not just rolling the dice.
Good.
That's a weird thing to say,
Chad.
Oh,
It's a little odd to just randomly say, but it is a great segue to our sponsor, Misty Mountain Gaming Dice. Thanks, Chad.
No
All right.
problem.
The show is brought to you by Misty Mountain Gaming. Misty Mountain Gaming Dice Company has an incredible catalog of dice of all sorts of materials like stone, resin, glass, and metal. They offer free shipping to the entire United States and now have new affordable shipping rates for international shoppers. Their dice are perfect for any RPG like Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, Shadowrun, Savage Worlds, anything else you can think of. There's a ton if you're not aware. And if you play RPGs or you know somebody who does, you can never have enough dice. It's true. Like, trust me, you can never have enough dice. So some Misty Mountain dice would make a perfect holiday gift, or really, like if you just want some dice, go check them out. They're really cool. And if you're looking for something really unique, they have specialty sets like their Ragnar's Bone dice set, Legends of Valhalla Hollow Metal dice set, the Elder Runes Blackout Metal dice set, which sounds metal as yeah, that's awesome. And plenty more. Misty Mountains is the only dice company that offers a lifetime warranty on all dice sets, including stone and glass. So that's very good. And they have new dice sets monthly. So go check them out and see their biggest selection on the web. So our friends at Misty Mountain have an exclusive offer for you. Just go to mistymountaingaming.com and use the code DBC for a free acrylic dice set of your choice when you spend $20 or more. Good deal. That's mistymountaingaming.com and use the code DBC. Go check them out. Thank you very much, Misty Mountain.
Go do that.
All right.
I would like them to sponsor us more.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Everybody needs a pair of dice. And if you have some, throw them away. Go get theirs. All right. So
yeah, you might have seen them there. All right. Let's talk about. You know what? Actually, I'm going to talk about Godzilla Ultimate a little bit, and then we'll talk about Godzilla, or not Godzilla. Goku versus Superman a little bit, and show that off, and the tournament thing. Goku.
That'd be a fusion. Goku and Godzilla.
That'd be great.
Goku
Ultimate
and Godzilla wear the
representative of
Batara
Japan.
rings.
Oh, I want to see Godzilla do the. I mean,
Yeah.
All right, so Godzilla Ultima. I just have one picture for this because it's too complicated to try to like show off too much. Let's go ahead and bring up the image for Godzilla Ultima just so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. This is Godzilla Ultima.
Look at those thighs.
He's a big boy with big thighs and an unhinged mouth with multiple rows of teeth. So to understand Godzilla Ultima, those of you who have watched Shin Godzilla, which is one of the best Godzilla films. It's like a legitimately really good movie. In Shin Godzilla, Godzilla starts as like a lesser form, I guess, and evolves over time, right? This is a recurring theme with Godzilla in other iterations. In Godzilla Earth, Godzilla, when he first arrives, Godzilla is just like the normal Godzilla. But in that iteration, Godzilla wins. And then we go back to Earth several thousand years later, and Godzilla has evolved into this massive creature. It's the biggest Godzilla that's ever existed. And Godzilla rules the Earth. That's why it's called Godzilla Earth. So Godzilla evolving is like a thing, right?
Right.
In Godzilla Singular Point, they do a similar thing. However, they up the ante a lot. So the whole idea behind Singular Point is the end of the universe is coming. there are these singular points that are kind of bleeding into our universe and spreading this red dust. That's what the red, you can see it in that image, right? This red dust seems to be like bringing upon it's supposed to bring upon the end of the universe, right?
It's
And
the
everybody's
nothing.
like,
Sorry.
where is this coming from? Like, what is this? It's coming from an alternate dimension.
Okay.
And other kaiju can exist while the red dust exists. And it turns out the red dust's origin point is Godzilla from another dimension.
Okay.
And so this Godzilla sends a piece of himself into our dimension, which becomes Godzilla Ultimate or Ultima. Godzilla Ultima is the most powerful version of Godzilla. It can just it quickly evolves to this point, but it could continue to evolve. It could continue to evolve to become bigger than the Earth itself, to become bigger than the universe itself, and destroy everything. And it's implied, we never see it, but there is a true form of Godzilla in the other dimension that is already bigger than the universe. This Godzilla Ultima isn't even the real Godzilla. There is a massive Godzilla in another universe capable of just destroying others. And this idea of the red dust is that him basically like coming into our universe and destroying it.
So a piece
It
of
is
the
wild.
true Godzilla can destroy the universe. Just a piece.
Yes, so essentially. This
Yeah.
is, I think, in a way, like a building off of, again, the idea that like Godzilla became God and Satan in Godzilla in Hell. Like, this is a god, Godzilla. He is treated as a god. He is talked about as this like prophesied entity that will come to destroy the world. They compare him to like the Greek gods that wanted to wipe out the mankind. Like, it is this massive universal cataclysm event that will destroy multiple universes anytime this red dust shows up. It is, yeah, in a way, Blue Blader, it's similar to Darkseid, who sends an avatar of himself. You could think of Godzilla Ultima as an avatar of the true Godzilla. It's insane.
Flegalia
It's
said
also
Goderzilla, which really
yeah. It's Singular Point came out like 2 years ago, I think, and when it did, I haven't watched the whole thing. It's very confusing. It really dives into the math of like multiple dimensions and whatnot. It doesn't really explain a lot. Like, that's kind of the point, right? The idea is that a singular point is about when a differential equation has something that is undefined, essentially. Like, that's the very basic like way to describe it. And I think that's the idea here, is that these singular points are undefinable. Godzilla is this like unexplainable entity that arrives in our universe to destroy everything, which is fascinating and also very hard to argue with, because I don't know what it could do. It could just blow the fuck out of everybody. So that's probably the strongest Godzilla that exists. In fact, it definitely is. There's no other Godzilla that is a god in another dimension.
Yeah. I remember hearing about that during the debate process, and I was like, I have to make sure Ben.
Yeah. I hadn't seen it before. I watched a little bit of it in preparation for this, and I was like, I don't know what the hell's happening. There's a lot going on, but the animation is pretty cool, and Ultima looks pretty dope. So his other forms are very strange. He's definitely go the fish route a bit. But anyway, Ultima being some like greater deity that can influence and destroy other universes is basically peak Godzilla power level, right?
Yeah.
And certainly Hulk can compete with that, but I do think that like the uncertainty and the like nebulousness of both these characters is ultimately going to be like the question that I think a lot of people have to answer. Like, how much do you buy into how unexplainable their powers are? Like, how far they can go with them. And whichever one you buy more, that's the one you vote for, I
Remember
guess.
when Godzilla was just a dude in a rubber suit fighting other monsters and throwing them into buildings?
There's a
We'll
funny...
say,
Oh, I was gonna say, but you go.
Thanks, Kid Rex.
I was just gonna wrap it up with like Godzilla Ultima or Godzilla Singular Point is crazy. If you have not seen Shin Godzilla, though, it is legitimately really good. It is fantastic.
Shin Godzilla is
Definitely
awesome. My favorite Godzilla movie recently.
Same.
Yeah.
Dude, we're blowing through time. This has been so interesting.
I could do more arguments for Hulk, but maybe
I would
wait
like
for
to get to the Goku versus Superman thing real quick,
Yeah.
and then we do have to do the poll, but we could maybe do some like quick back.
We'll do a recap thing.
All right,
There you go.
let's very quick talk about what is going on. All right, so we're gonna first talk about the
Tournament of Champions.
Tournament of Champions.
Welcome to the Tournament of Champions.
Who won today?
Well, I'm just embracing it now
There you
that
go.
it just happens. So well, let's do some more Tournament of Champions. Let's do it.
Welcome to the Tournament of Champions.
Because we are getting to the very end of this, guys. So for those of you just coming in, this whole thing has been about you guys voting for a matchup that is going to happen next year in the next season of Death Battle. We've been going through the tournament the past many weeks, like 8 weeks at this point or so, and we've seen a lot of matchups, really cool matchups from your guys' suggestions in the Discord make it through the tournament. And this is the last semifinal round to go into the final round. So the winner of this last semifinal with 48% of the vote is Kratos versus Asura.
Yeah.
Congratulations to everybody
Nice.
vote for that. That's a pretty decent win, although Sans versus the Judge was pretty close, coming in at
Got pretty
37%
good.
of the voice.
Do you think-
It was
votes,
very
yeah.
competitive.
Do you think the Asura reference in Scooby Courage was any
Pushed
bit
it
of
over
like
the
help
edge.
sway that? Like,
I thought
Kratos
about
versus
that. I thought about that.
Kratos
I don't
versus
think
Asura
so.
was also in the last thing we did that's
Mhm.
similar to this last year, and it got pretty
Yeah.
far as well. So
Got second place, so if
I
it gets
think it's
second
just
place
a-
again, it's gonna be funny as fuck.
That's pretty funny.
I think it's just a popular episode idea. I mean, I'm sure
That's a good one.
we'll probably do it at some point, but this, if you guys vote for it, in the finals, that just means it absolutely happens. All right, so let's find out what the finals are going to be.
Welcome to the Tournament of Champions final round.
The semifinals were well fought, but these two matches have risen above the rest.
But which one will be the episode chosen for Season 11 of Death Battle?
Will it be the furious God Slayers, Kratos versus Asura?
Or the furriest cartoon carnivores, Wile E. Coyote versus Tomcat?
Vote for your favorite matchup to determine which will happen next year on Death Battle.
And if you're not a champion yet, click that join button on our YouTube channel and make your voice heard.
oh,
What a pairing.
man.
So good.
What a
Furious,
pairing!
furious. I was like, yeah, I'm fucking writing right now. Yeah. No one's ever made this joke before.
Ever.
I think it's literally the title of the first Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah,
cartoon.
yeah. When I was reading the script, I remember seeing that note on the side that you wrote. It's explicitly that.
Yeah.
I don't
Uh,
know which one I want more.
I know.
I
it's
know
like
which
win-win.
one won't.
They're so
Tough.
different.
I know which one won't hurt as much to figure out.
Fair.
I guess. I mean, one of them has a lot less material to go through, but like,
I mean, the power
They get
levels are
very
still
powerful.
crazy.
Yeah.
You know what? Battle Royale.
Who would win in a fight though if it was Tom and Wile versus Kratos and Asura? Who would win? I think Tom and Wile would just demolish them. I think that they would, like pretty.
I mean,
easily.
isn't their whole thing about failing though? Wouldn't they like be capable of demolishing
That's
them? but
why
then
they're
just
so
get themselves
busted.
killed?
They can't die.
That's fair. It would just be a
Actually, Tom could
never-ending
die.
fight.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, all right. Well, let us know which one you think should be in the next season of Death Battle. Go ahead and get to voting on that once that poll is up. That is going to be under the members tab on the Death Battle YouTube page. If you are a member, you can check that out. Get your vote in. This is the first time there are only two, because only one's going to make it to the end. And whichever one you guys vote on, we will do next year. It will be a part of season 11, regardless of how ridiculous it's going to be to make.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. So there's one other thing want to talk a little bit about, which is Goku versus Superman. We do have a little bit of a little thing to show off. I like I've said, this episode is means a lot to me. We have spent a lot of time on this. We have full transparency. We've been talking about doing this episode since like 2020, I think.
Yeah.
It's been this like
Yeah,
thing that's
yeah.
been kind of floating around for a while.
In 2020, we're like, hey, how can we fuck up the world a little more?
Yeah, exactly. Right. The world's already like fucked up,
Let's go.
so nobody's
Let's
gonna
pause on
mind
this.
if we do this.
Let's go.
No, we talked about 2020, but that's also when Ultra Guy. We talked about like I think last cast that like Ultra Guy has basically dived into every single comic and manga of Goku and Superman, and this is why he's been able to do that. He's been kind of on it for like 3 years. Even before we really greenlit it, he was like, "Oh, you guys want to do this? I kind of want to do it too. So I'm just gonna start reading this stuff."
It's amazing.
Like he
It's
just
insane.
went for it, and yeah, I
Crazy.
cannot shout him out enough. Like I really appreciate all the work he put into this.
Mhm.
Of course, even though Ultra was like a huge part of like bringing all the information together, it was decided by the whole group, which again is wildly different than how it was back in the day. 10 years ago, it was me going, here's how I think it would go, and Chad would go,
Wrong.
I guess that makes sense.
And then no, wrong. And then we'd argue for a while
Yeah, he'd go wrong, and then I'd say, well, what about this? And then you say, I guess that makes sense, and that was it. That was our whole deliberation process. Nowadays, we have a whole team behind it, and we need everybody to
It's
agree.
that
So
plus
it's
a
a very
bunch of people. It's a bunch
Yeah.
of people going wrong.
yes. Yeah. So, man, I'm very excited. Without further ado, let's go ahead and show off what Goku vs Superman is going to look like.
Watch me, here I go,
You're holding back. Give it your all.
I'll show you just how powerful I really am.
watch me, I never say no. Watch me, here I go.
Wow, even the video said "Watch
dude.
me."
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't actually think about that.
I was just like, wow, that was really on the nose.
Oh man,
God.
the animation team has really kicked ass putting this together, making a really dynamic fight. Oh my god, Gelatin Man, thanks for gifting 50 membership.
Whoa, Gelatin
It's
Man.
crazy.
And then the post team. I still think the post team does not get enough credit for what they do. Like they make these fights look so fucking gorgeous. If you don't know what they do the colors, the lighting, the effects, the backgrounds, just the art in general, the compositing, just making it look as good as it does. And I can't talk about the ending of the fight, but man, it looks so fucking good. All right.
Vamulator,
I'm
thank you for the
excited.
10 memberships.
Thank
crazy.
you. Yeah.
Oh, the hype's real.
It ends with rock paper scissors.
Yeah. Actually,
looks
Spoilers.
amazing.
I was gonna say something to keep an ear out for, but keep an eye out for rock paper scissors. It does appear at some point in the fight. But also, I know I made this posted this on Twitter earlier today about the cast. And yes, Xander Mobus is coming in as Superman. Michael Kovac is returning as Goku. And of course, the old episode from 10 years ago had a different cast, Moscow X, and it's just some random guy who are incredible and essential to Death Battle. To the Goku vs Superman Death Battle. It was a deliberate choice, a difficult choice, but a deliberate choice to cast differently. However, that does not mean we did not reach out to Moscow X and it's just a random guy. They are still involved, so keep an ear out. I was gonna try to keep it all like cagey and mysterious, like listen out for them. But I made that post on Twitter and nobody seemed to catch what I was like saying, so I'm just gonna fuck it.
Say it outright.
They're there.
Yeah.
They're in there somewhere, so just listen out for them. You'll find them.
And this isn't even our finale.
Yeah, that's true.
Crazy.
That's true. There's one more episode after this. Who knows what that's going to be?
We do, but we won't tell you.
Liam is. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to say this. This is gonna ruin some people, but I'm going to say Liam is directing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So take that for what you will.
It's like you're all hyped up on the Goku Superman energy right now.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, but also, Liam is directing the finale. I think this is the first finale that's not directed by me.
All right.
So you know, Whatever that means to you. Go
Whatever
ahead.
that means.
Thank you, Andre.
Yeah.
I know we're short of time, but then again, we started like 5 minutes late, so we can go over a little bit. But here's
Yeah.
one thing I want to address when it comes to Goku Superman, because like my fucking Twitter has been blowing up. I've got so many comments about this that Ben has too. Y'all, there is no mind game, meta game that we're trying to do. Like, it is literally, it's been a long time. Let's revisit the episode. Let's look into everything. Goku has new forms, and let's determine the result. We are not trying to reiterate a point. We are not trying to make the other person win for whatever. Like, it is, we are re-looking at it from scratch again with all the new information and the new team and everything.
Yes.
So
It is a re-examination from the ground up
Yes.
with a new team. I will say there is more to this episode than just who would win in a fight. There is something I've wanted to explore in Death Battle for a long time, that this matchup really suits this matchup.
Yeah.
So I will say, when you're watching this,
Sex.
please make sure to stay to the end.
Jesus Christ. Liam, no.
It's not. You never know.
Don't spread this.
No.
Which is the line from the fight. All right, no.
Just be sure to stay till the end. I know some people will only watch the fight or whatnot, but there is more to the conclusion segment than maybe you would normally expect.
Yeah, you bet there is.
Also, this is one of the. I know we gotta move, but this is one of the great summarizations of like Death Battle comments. Minin Robotnik says, "You're telling the truth, Chad. We just don't believe you."
That's a good. Should put that on a shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds like
Bullshit.
a great
I
shirt.
believe it.
Oh my god.
Welcome to the internet. All right. You know, I think I might write up some stuff like a blog or whatever on Rooster Teeth that might talk about some of the other things.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But anyway, we should get back to the
Road to 200.
Yeah.
community death battle. All right. Yeah, we are over time, so we're just gonna jump into this. Let's go ahead.
Godzilla
and bring
did
up...
not beat Superman. That Superman was distracted and was knocked down by a stray blast.
It's also an Elseworlds thing, I think. So
It's also
I don't
a
know if
crossword,
really
yeah.
matters. Yeah.
We're
All right,
saying
so
it.
let's. Godzilla definitely beat Superman, and Superman has no limits. You
What a
know
great
that,
closing
right?
statement. I'm so
Obviously. Duh. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. So, as usual, you guys have submitted some answers for us as well before the cast. Let's go ahead and bring those up.
This one comes from @KillPDX, sure. Hulk has shook the entire multiverse and defeated characters capable of threatening Marvel's entire creation. He can regenerate from practically nothing and has several layers of immortality thanks to the one below all. As of late, Hulk's gotten more boosts in power and can also attack souls with gamma vision. We didn't even get into that.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
I don't even know what the fuck that is. Gamma vision? Okay. Well, I mean, that, like, I believe it. That sounds like something that's like in a comic book.
Wow. Okay.
Well, Godzilla has soul stuff too, right? Isn't it one time he's the reincarnation of like Pearl Harbor victims or whatever?
He's the reincarnation of the Japanese
Hiroshima,
the Hiroshima victims.
That's what it was.
Because he was mad at how Japan had like handled things. Like I can't remember the specifics. But yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and bring up the
King
other
Man's
answer.
Godzilla movie.
Yes.
From 660 Atlantis. The fact that Godzilla has shown up in both Marvel and DC comics to do battle is enough. But the fact that he stopped Superman with just his tail, who is stronger than the Hulk, says he can beat the Hulk.
See,
Wow.
Liam,
That's
he beat
interesting.
Superman.
It's just
So
not
he's,
true.
He's
That's
obviously
terrible.
gonna beat the Hulk.
I had
He
a
can
whole...
He also fought the Avengers, including Hercules and Thor, who, you know, the Avengers were originally made to beat the Hulk. So, you know, he beat the shit out of them. So it's fine. All right. I'm going to start the poll in the chat. So everybody's watching this live, you can go ahead and get your vote in, but we are going to start with the community vote from before the Death Battle cast. Let's go ahead and bring up that one. That's
This is
the
gonna be
first
close. All right.
vote.
Okay.
Oh,
Most people going with Hulk. I understand. Yep.
64% to Hulk. Okay.
Yep.
So Hulk
See-
gets one of the 4 votes.
And this tells me how it's definitely the people that know what they're talking about, and like, because we have the popularity contest, but when it comes to Hulk, like I would imagine most people looking at that would think Godzilla, right? Because he's huge.
Maybe, I don't know.
Anyway.
I actually feel like most people would assume it's Hulk because they probably would have only
comic book
seen one
character.
movie and been like, "Oh yeah, Hulk gets killed by like an oxygen destroyer. They just suck away his oxygen and he dies." So, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And it also depends on you guys. So let's get to these votes.
Oh,
Chad.
no, let's let Josh go first.
Oh no.
Yeah, this one's hard.
Oh, this one's really tough. Oh man.
Either one of you can go first.
Well, I'll go. I think I came into it thinking Godzilla, and maybe it's recency bias. I mean, I just started watching that new Monarch show. It's awesome. If you like the MonsterVerse, check it out. It's really great. So I came into it with that, and then seeing him as a skeleton fighting the devil and God, like I was like, that's pretty crazy.
And don't forget, as Kage points out, Godzilla with a minigun.
Right,
Yeah,
of course. I was just about to talk about the minigun.
Hulk flexed so hard he broke physics just by flexing his muscles.
That's true too. I feel like I could go either way, and just to make the decision, I'm gonna go Godzilla.
Okay.
All right.
Oh
All right.
man.
One Hulk, one Godzilla. Chad.
I want to do this fight really badly.
Seriously, yeah, absolutely.
I think the fight will be super fun. God, you brought up some really good stuff about Godzilla. It's on a whole nother level than I was expecting, but I'm gonna go with Hulk because he's really broken.
Okay.
Yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense.
Okay. 2 votes for Hulk, 1 vote for Godzilla. And I'm sure there are other things about Godzilla that like I didn't mention that would be a big factor here as well. This
That
is-
definitely
A lot of
make him
stuff that I
win.
could keep
Yes,
going with
yeah.
Hulk.
Yeah, that would definitely make him win, Chad. Jeez. All right.
Infinity of dimensions.
I'll give you guys a little bit more time with the poll because it is very close at the moment.
Yeah.
So go ahead and get your votes in. Yeah, I think this would be a very fun episode to explore. Not only does it have really fun animation potential, but this argument clearly has a lot of back and forth that I think we could have fun with. Oh my god.
Oh my
Poll
god.
is literally tied right now
Literally
at 50-50.
tied.
You gotta be kidding me.
Guys, whichever one, which it is literally at 50-50 right now. Whichever one goes above 50 next wins.
Oh my god.
That's all it'll take.
Christ.
It's just 1%. It is so close.
That's amazing.
Oh my god.
Is this?
Oh!
Godzilla!
Godzilla.
That means it's tie.
It's still a
We have
tie.
2 Godzilla votes and 2 Hulk votes, and that means that it goes to our tiebreaker, who's directing in the show. Mike, it's up to you. Is it Godzilla or is it Hulk? What are you on the spot?
I vote for the green one.
Yeah, nice try.
Which green
Well,
one?
Godzilla isn't green. He's like black.
Well,
Yeah.
Hulk wasn't green all the time either. Hulk's like gray.
Gray, yeah,
is
and sometimes
green.
red.
Consistently.
Hulk's,
Red Hulk.
Godzilla's green sometimes too.
Yeah.
He's green.
The Godzilla Ultima. He's fucking-
That's green.
Yeah, this one sucks, doesn't it, Mike?
Yeah.
Mike, I'll give you a smooch.
Okay,
You have a coin handy? Like-
Candace, who's sitting here with me, says Hulk. So I'm going
Okay.
Put it on canvas. All right. Okay.
All right.
There you go.
I was. All right. Well, with that said, then in a very, very close match, Hulk narrowly takes it.
I didn't think I felt the winds shifting against me at that last moment. I was very convinced that Godzilla was going to take it.
Oh my God,
That
that was
was
close.
Very
was
close.
close.
What a
Crazy.
fascinating.
And now
Yeah, that was
Ben has to
fascinating.
die.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
Oh no!
Godzilla, get
Well-
the minigun.
Can I at least wait until Goku vs Superman comes out? I want to see how that goes. It's in less than a week.
We didn't establish
Comes
a
out
time
next
frame.
Monday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, and if anybody doesn't like the episode, you know what's going to happen to me, so it's fine. All right. Oh my God. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in for another Death Battle cast. Yes, Goku vs Superman will premiere this upcoming Monday on the Death Battle YouTube channel and on roosterteeth.com. Please check it out. There we will also be announcing the season finale of Death Battle Season 10 at the end of that episode. So get ready for that. It's gonna be exciting. Oh my god. This has been such a good, like, man, this has been such a good year, Death Battle. We have so many awesome episodes this year. And I truly do think that this like last bunch of episodes,
the final
last 4 to
stretch
5
here
or
has been
so
crazy.
that we have been making have been some of the best episodes that we've ever made.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope you guys really enjoy them. So thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.
Watch me, yeah, yeah. Here I go, yeah, yeah.
You're going back. Give it your all.
I'll show you just how powerful I really am.
Watch me, yeah, yeah. I never say no. Watch me, watch me, watch me. Here I go, here I go.